Look at some headlines on the Punch newspaper. Labour faults federal government's meeting, insists on indefinite strike. And then another one here says, Afenifere accuses Obasanjo of ridiculing Obas, demands apology. Okay. This one would interest you. Food prices jump by 31%, says NBS. Now that's a major one. Food prices jump by 31%, says NBS. Pipeline repairs gulp 34.47 billion naira in 18 months. Debt crisis, stop tax waivers. IMF tells Nigeria. So I heard somebody say something. It's the reason why I just had sighed at this. It says it's as though Nigeria plans its economy with whatever the IMF says, and we've not locally looked at our problems and tried to solve it locally. I don't know how true that is, but just seeing that headline got me thinking immediately. Debt crisis, stop tax waivers. IMF tells Nigeria. We should. IMF, do you know what Nigerians are going through? You say we should stop tax. We're even saying the waivers are not enough. The truth is, there are other ways to get money. Is the government exploring those options? Cut cost is one major thing you can do. Cut cost drastically. We haven't seen that done. Instead, we're getting lawmakers get palliatives, get this and get that, on top of what they already been getting that we're complaining about, buying new cars and Serap has been going to court and they've gone to court again. Chicago academic record. Atiku plans fresh suit against Tinubu. That's also on the Punch newspaper. Let's see if we'll find anything interesting on the Tide. Strike. OPS warns federal government, Labour against socio-economic disruption. That one is on the Tide. Okay. And then we see what we have on the Vanguard newspaper. Not much to see on the Tide there. On the Vanguard, quite a few. Strike. How Labour veterans got NLC TUC to close ranks. That's also a headline you would see there on the Vanguard newspaper. And Biden appoints 2 Nigerians as advisors. It's a great one for Nigerians in the US. The WhatsApp number still is 0809-030-6416. Remember that we are streaming live on Facebook and on X, formerly Twitter. So join the conversation there. On Facebook, it is Nigeria Info, 92.3 PH. On X, it is Nigeria Info PH. Bandits kill 6 in southern Kaduna. Another headline on the Vanguard. We'll be back after this commercial.
Brace up. It's time. Something is about to shift in your life for
6416. On Facebook, it is Nigeria Info 92.3 PH, and on X, formerly Twitter, it is Nigeria Info PH. All right, on The Nation, you would see this one here. INEC. Insecurity threatens November 11 governorship polls. You want to find out where? Then get yourself a copy of the Nation newspaper and look at that story in details. This one says, Oba of Benin, next Edo governor must respect monarchy. Is he saying that the current one doesn't respect monarchy? We'll find out details. PDP may not retain Edo, says secretary. That's also a headline you would see on the Nation newspaper. And let's see if we could get one more. Stock market transactions soar to 2.42 trillion naira. That's also what you would see on the Nation newspaper. Plenty of headlines. But let's quickly get to the phone lines now and get your reaction to some of the stories. Tammy is calling from Old GRA. Keep it very short and simple.
Morning.
Tammy, good morning.
Let me quickly react to two things as one. What labor strike and then what IMF is saying. Now, the crux of the matter is this. In education, it is said that it is the development of an individual mentally, physically, and otherwise to be useful to yourself and your society, and the best way to learn is to do it yourself. Nigeria, in all the economic and financial lessons we have gathered, we should be able to come up with our homegrown solutions to our peculiar economic issues. We can even come up with formulas that IMF have never seen before. So we shouldn't depend on what IMF is saying. We should listen to them, but we should form our own solutions now, the way the Asians are doing, China is doing. Now, what the crux of the matter, what Labour is saying, I want everybody, I don't want politicians and sycophants to be singing, oh, Tinubu has come and has taken away. Yes, the importation of fuel and the refining of our products outside is one of the biggest fraud, also the biggest fraud in this country. The issue is this: before the implementation of this good economy.
Oh, Tammy, you'd have to call back. I think you got interrupted by your service provider. Ida is in Nkoro. Good morning, Ida.
Yeah, Andrew, very good morning.
Very good morning to you.
I want to thank the golden governor of Rivers State to create new city. Yes. Obiakwa can see Obiakwa and Faga. Sabu can be able to go to their villages and go to work. Like they're going to cross this HA bridge to Okrika. Yes, so that Okrika can be able to, from their village, to come to work. I want to thank him and the former governor to sack some people. Yes, maybe they are not doing well, so it's good. Then the research chairman to conduct election next year, local government election. Yes, I'm begging of everybody to come, all the political parties to come out, so that they will contest. Anybody that win, carry the day. Thank you very much. God bless. I'm from good morning.
All right, good morning, Ida. And good news is in Mouth 3. Good morning, good news.
Yeah, good morning, my brother, man.
Yeah, good morning.
Quick one. Governor Fubara says he wants to just Port Harcourt and make other cities. The question is, how does he want to do? He is talking to people who have sense, who thinks in different states. The former governor Amechi, or the layer of Amechi, brought in Greater Port Harcourt City so that they will incorporate all the cities. The government of Wike brought them down, work only Port Harcourt and Obiabo. And he, as Bora, has come in. The first thing he did is say he's doing ring road. And the ring road did not cut across critical sectors of all the communities in River State, all still in Port Harcourt urban area. How does he want to? He should tell us how he wants to, not coming to tell us other stories. And then, besides that again, you look at the way he has taken the government. This is almost we are going to his 200 days in office. And he's coming to give us promises, the way they gave fake promises during the election time. I think we are beyond that. And finally, you think to join NLC to strike. I think we will not continue like this in this country. Our problem in this country is just bad leadership from up to down. How I wish. My name is Good News.
All right, good news. Samuel is Merelu. From Samuel, we go to Mufasa. Samuel, good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Go ahead.
I laugh when RISEC said they will conduct a free and fair election. You see, let me tell you. You see, RISEC and INEC, this will have failed Nigeria. What they tell you today is not what they will do tomorrow. From my own opinion, they should scrap these two agents and look for a better agent that can make Nigeria happy. Because they used to dance to the government in power. When they tell you today that they will upload the results, tomorrow they will say because of technical reasons. So they have failed us. So on the issue of strike, labor should go on. So that without them, because without them we cannot change, they cannot make a better change. Before somebody remove a subsidy, you need to keep things in ground. You make sure that refineries and other things will work. How can you remove subsidy when the refineries are not in place? People are dying of hunger. You steal food in everywhere. Everything is going high every day by day. Go to hospital. If you go to hospital, you cannot be able to buy even common ampiclos. Go to school, you cannot even pay their school fees. So please, they should go on. We are falling behind them.
Right,
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mufasa from NTA Road. Good morning, Mufasa.
Yeah, hi, Andrew. Good morning.
Morning to you.
Yeah, quick one. The governor has promised to decongest Port Harcourt and move Port Harcourt away from River State, away from one or two city states.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew, how that can be done is not rocket science. I'm sure that modalities have been put in place to ensure that even the Ring Road project is one of such modalities that we see Port Harcourt or River State rather turning into, a state that most of these rural areas, will be fully annexed, to the urban center. So for me, I think that is a fantastic pronouncement made by the governor, and we expect him now to put, that to work. It's very simple, provided you have a government that is determined and deliberate, and to change the status quo. And I believe this governor has actually come to do so. And lastly, Andrew, you see NLC saying that they will no longer be interested in talks with the government. For me, I think NLC, what they are trying to do is to compound issues for Nigerians. Because one thing I know for a fact is that in as much as they want to go for this strike, there will certainly be a time when they will be called to the discussion table. So what difference does it make that you discuss now or you discuss during or after the strike actions? So for me, instead of doing the same thing over and over again and expect to have a different result, NLC should come up with something different, something more engaging, so that people don't tend to suffer the more, because the people are the ones that will suffer the most, saying that people should talk and all of that. There's hardship in the land, people don't have money to buy anything. So please, NLC, for the interest of Nigerians, I do not think this strike is a wise decision. That's
Right, Mufasa, thank you. Uche Ken is in a chair. Good morning.
Andrew, good morning, sir.
Morning to you.
Yes. Let me look at Labour Fort meeting with federal government again, insist on nationwide strike. And PUC said meeting with federal government again is...
Hello? Hello? All right, Uche Ken, you'd have to call us back. We cannot hear you. Hello? All right, let's go to Lugard. Lugard is also in a chair. Lugard, good morning.
Yeah, if you hear me, Andrew.
All right, you're welcome.
Greetings from a chair to you.
Go ahead.
Yes, RISEC promising to conduct credible election next year. Andrew, most of the problem we are having in this state is RISEC. They have never conducted a free and fair election since I know RISEC. How can they, in the last election, print one form for each local government, closing windows for other people to participate in that primary? I want to call on my local government chairman, Obina. They hear him. And let's see when they go conduct another election. And the health center you flagged off in my community, Apoko, is still like that. I want to urge you, please, complete that health center. That is very important to Lugaman and so many communities around that Apoko. Please, the fencing of that area is very important, so that to avoid hoodlums from looting the already built health center. Please, our people are yearning for that health center. It's very important to us.
Thank you very much, Lugard.
On the issue of a strike by Labour, I want to say Labour should rekindle the hope of ordinary Nigerians. We are hoping on Labour because what we're passing through today is not what we expected. Look at my campaign for this government, both in my local government, but everywhere, making sure that Tinubu becomes the president of Nigeria. Today, what are we seeing? Labour, I will support you. I will mobilize for you to make sure that this strike becomes a reality.
All right, God's time in Onelga. Good morning.
Good morning, Femi Andro.
Good morning, God's time.
The governor of the state promised to decongest Port Harcourt. You see, Ifemi, we don't tend to always be coming to newspaper, possibly on radio, or just to make headline. What have the last government done? And this is just a transfer of the last government to this government. So what do we expect from them? How does he intend to do that? Why Wike built the whole infrastructure in Port Harcourt city as well as Obiakpo, and the governor has come again to tell us that he's going to decongest Port Harcourt. What happened to the greater Port Harcourt and Mechi Market? Did they invest on it? Did they even look at it? The people that are working in that greater Port Harcourt before now, we are sacked and they weren't paid. But today, the governor is coming to tell us he wants to decongest Port Harcourt. Maybe the next project is going to carry out is in Opobo. No problem, it's still part of the decongestion. Now, Russia coming out to tell us they will organize good election next year. How is that going to be possible? When the government of the day foot their bills, when the government of the day pay their salary, I think any other party shouldn't come out and waste their money because it will just be a PDP party all through. Nobody will win. Not even the most popular person in the world will win any election. And NUC should calm down. Not going to strike is the issue. They should go and negotiate with government. I'm not saying they are not interested again. They should negotiate because nobody has any money to restock anything. Thank you and do have a smart day.
Okay. Thank you very much. We have Abinoye and Cookie Gam on the line. Cookie Gam, let's start with you. Good morning.
Andrew, good morning.
Good morning.
Andrew, Rich said, promise to conduct an election next year. Andrew, he said to start with utility. Andrew, do you know the state chairman now? Retired Justice Adolphus Emebele, Emma Rivers will carry Rivers State when he was a judge. Emma Rivers was respected. But Andrew, by the time next year, you see what happened to that man. His state will come down very low because he has no power to give us good election in Rivers State. He has no that power. Andrew, too, the former Republican appointed people in the percentage in FCC. Andrew, it's a good one. I want the present governor of Rivers State to, this is the 4 months. He has not appointed or dissolved any board or any existing board in Rivers State. Let him dissolve those boards and agencies in Rivers State and appoint new one, as his former boss did. I'm expecting to do that one. Let him keep the board rolling. People that have served for many years in this body, I let him dissolve that. Go get dissolve that too. Andrew, for Labour Congress, Andrew, I'm a supporter of Ahmed Bola Tinubu, who voted for him, mobilized for him in the whole Rivers State. But he has failed us for the past 4 months now. Andrew, I'm mobilizing the entire Opobo people that I know, my friends and well-wishers, my children, who shall join the Labour strike. So show the government that, Andrew, people are dying in hunger. People are dying in hunger every day. Go to UPTA, go to VA. People are dying because of hunger in Nigeria and Rivers State, as I know. So Labour, please, this is the last chance to reposition Nigeria. We will support you. Andrew, good morning.
Thank you very much, Cookie Gam. Abinoye now in Abua. Abinoye, good morning.
Good morning. Hear me, Andrew.
Hi, good morning.
Yes. NLC strike is looming and the federal government is looking. And the reason why the strike must come is because of the shifty attitude of the government. I do not know that a sensitive government should have known that Nigeria is a monoproduct economy and anything that touches the oil will touch the people. And up till now, nothing is done. No, the suffering will be very grave. I want to advise the federal government to meet before now till the 3rd, to meet, try by all means to meet labor and discuss this matter. You know, the suffering is so much, and I think that this time Labour will not go back, and we are in support. Yes, RISEC talked about a credible election in Rivers State, and the election conducted by INEC, you know, is still green in our memory. And I think that RISEC does not have, you know, the moral stamina to talk about it. We know that it will go the same way, accept the change. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Uche Ken is back from Ichie. Go ahead, Uche
Yes.
Ken.
Can you hear me, Andrew?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Labour fought federal government, fourth meeting with federal government again, and insist on nationwide strike. While TUC said meeting with federal government again is pointless, they have all decided that the meeting, they have given federal government enough time, and all meeting was fruitless. For me, if you ask me, there is always a second chance. But I want to tell Labour too, Labour and TUC, that I know and I am also believing that this shouldn't be initial gara-gara. Andrew, let me tell you, between now and Monday night, if Labour did not make U-turn, you know I'm not Uche Ken. But let me also give them a benefit of that. As for federal government, do not allow people that has voted for you, that toiled morning, night, evening, to ensuring that you are there. Do not allow them to go into coma. Do not allow them to suffer. This is what I would tell federal government. Then my governor Fubara said he would decongest Port Harcourt. If that will be done, I call it a very good development, because it will help in developing other areas. And if you fuel some part of Port Harcourt, it won't catch fire. Mainly those areas that are called Rumu this, Rumu that, they are highly crowded and highly populated. So if this is done, it will not only bring development to the urban, but rural also will enjoy peace.
All right, thank you very much. Morning. Let's go to Clinton in Bori. Good morning, Clinton.
Good morning, Andrew.
Go on.
Yeah, the governor promises to decongest Port Harcourt City. I think it's a good one. And it shouldn't just remain on paper. It should ensure that he implements what he has said out to the public. Because Port Harcourt, as we know, is congested. And there are other neighboring towns like Bori that should be developed. Then on NSC, and she used to saying that they will not meet the federal government again. There's no need to be the federal government. How do you even negotiate? How do you bargain with the federal government if you don't meet with them? So I think that they should stop saying that and ensure that they create a balance between the federal government and their unions. Because if they go on this strike, it is we, the common man, that will suffer. Because from what I've been hearing from them, they are saying that the plight of workers. What about the plight of those that are not workers of this country? So they should ensure that there's a balance between the people and the government. Thank you very much.
All right, Clinton, thank you. John in Umudioga, good morning.
Yes, Andrew, good morning.
Morning to you.
Yes, the governor of Rivers State promised to discongest Port Harcourt and those about the other cities. It is a welcome development, but it's a big talk, according to musicians. Because when Chibike Rotimi Amechi created a template of a greater Port Harcourt City, after all, what happened? Did any person hear anything greater Port Harcourt City again? There is some statement that somebody will make. It will just be in your parlor, be laughing that this is just a mere joke. Go to Port Harcourt, go to Elechi Amadi. Everything is in Obiakpo. Elechi Amadi is not even have enough environment to hold that polytechnics there. Go to other schools. And when Amechi was a governor, Amechi created a FIFA and created a template of Port Harcourt Greater City. Nyesowike came and his vision, because he was having issue with Amechi, he killed that plan. And secondly, he said he want to develop. Maybe it should be an Opopo. And the RISEC chairman, Justice Tenebeli, said they will conduct credible election. Who is speaking? Justice Tenebeli. He was a judge in the Rivers State. What was his outcome? What did he end? Is it somebody, even the president of INEC, the chairman of INEC, Mumu, went far to London, Chatham House to say election will be free and fair? Is it Tenebeli who danced in the tune of the former governor of Rivers State, Wiki, who will come and tell me that election will be free and fair, and I will accept? Please help me tell my chairman, Chidi Lloyd, to come and build the Obiorgan Health Center, that we don't have health center.
All right, thank you very much. Let's go to Tonye now, John. You just take your time.
He only went there and cleared the environment.
Tonye in warfare, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, my brother.
Okay, go on.
Yes, NLC TUC strike. My brother, I think I have a problem. And the problem is we, the public. See, my brother, I bet you. Now, the solution for this, our problem is, and people should understand that NLC, because somebody was complaining before for now till Monday evening, NLC can call on the strike. If the government call NLC and say, please, let's discuss. So please give us from now that Monday to Wednesday. I don't think it's a bad one. And we should not forget that there is an act that is the NLC is operating on. They are not autonomous. I don't know if they're getting me. They have their right. The government also have their right. And this strike of a thing is a process. Till you get to the last point, it is when you strike. And if we, as individuals, I bet you, if NLC go for those 2-day strikes, people that ask things that they can sell their close by neighbors, they will begin to inflate price on our own. Instead of helping ourselves, we too help and support NLC.
Right,
if we want this country to go forward or for things to change.
Very valid point you have said. Most of the people saying this now would add price in what they want to sell at that time. I get your point. But the NLC has been negotiating with government. I think for us to see the picture and being the devil's advocate in this, NLC said certain agreements have been entered into with government with how to run this subsidy removal plan. In fact, one time the negotiation was on again after a past negotiation. While they were having those meetings with government went ahead to say it wants to give palliatives, and that was a problem. It says, we have a plan. Why are you going to give palliative if there's a conversation, we're having a negotiation to come up with a good plan? So at the end of the day, now Labour says, well, we're not going for any meeting. It's pointless. We already have different agreements, different meetings, and there are agreements already on ground that you need to implement. So just implement those ones and we're fine. We wrap things up now on Facebook. NLC TUC telling Nigerians to stock their homes with foodstuff ahead of indefinite strike. Where is the money now? Where is the money? Ability. Thank God you sent that one in. Okay, let's take this commercial and then the business news follows afterwards. My name is Ifeami Andrew. Good morning.
Hooray! It's Lujo Heights anniversary. Lujo Heights Homes Limited is having its anniversary celebration